Hello everyone, have a wonderful day. Today we'll be continuing our discussion on our second lecture series for the agriculture extension and communication. And last time we discussed the overview of extensions, and today we have to continue with still on the overview. And I just wanna make it fast because medyo mataas ito na slide na to, and some of the concepts has been discussed already in our previous discussion. So medyo paspasan natin ng konti dito, no, para marami tayong ma-discuss. Anyway, okay. So let's jump in directly to our slide. So we are still on our uh, overview level. Okay. Where's it? Okay. So we're still on the agriculture extension and communication. Okay. So we have discussed already the extension science, no, and we'll just skip on that. And we also discussed already the meaning of extension. Okay. Now let us continue with the methods. Okay, methods or techniques in extension, no? So what are different methods and techniques in extension? But before that, let us introduce to you the different extension terms, no? So what is extension teaching? No, we have in here, no? So art of stimulating, directing, and guiding the learning process, or process of guiding interaction, no? So it is art of stimulating, directing, and guiding the learning process. And extension teaching is also a process of guided interaction, no? So we have to guide the interaction, so we have facilitation. And extension teaching process designed to help people develop and become capable of guiding successfully their own destinies, no? And extension teaching providing effective learning situations that create new learning experience for people. So providing effective learning situations. So more on teaching talaga, no? That create new learning experience for people. So in passing lang tayo. Then what is kanina we're talking about extension teaching, and now what is learning, no? Learning is any change in behavior due to experience and training, no? So change in behavior. When there's no changes in behavior, there's no learnings take place, no? Sige. Uh, it could be change maybe in skills, no? Ano yung mga skills in agriculture, farming skills, change in knowledge. Sometimes, no, we need to unlearn in order to learn. Ano, kasi minsan, mayroon tayong mga prior or previous knowledge na akala natin totoo, then presently realize natin na mas okay pala ito, no? We have to unlearn what we have learned before, no? It could be a change in skills, knowledge, or attitude. Okay, change in behavior, particularly in skills, knowledge, and attitudes. That is learning. Process by which an individual adapts, no, a process by which individual adapts some new skills or idea because it satisfies personal need. So kung adult na tayo, minsan we tend to learn based on our biases, no? Ano bang mga gusto natin, no? Ano bang mga demand natin, diyan tayo mag-learn. Okay. This learning, any change in behavior, no? Due to experience and training, no? Okay. Change in behavior because of the teaching learning process. Okay. So what is a learning experience, no? Learning experience a series of activities and appraisals from which one gains meanings in facing new problems and planning new experience. Again, a series of activities and appraisal from which one gains meaning in facing new problems and planning new experience, no? So we have some activities and appraisal, then we see our problems and we learn from that problems, and we plan to solve that problem, so our planning, so that we have new experience out from the problem. Okay, so what is a learning experience? Yun. And what is the education and its purpose, no? In general, the education Yes, education, no? Productions about changes in human behavior. Okay? The purpose of education is total human development. Now, kung na-eskwela na-eskwela mo, so take note that what we are going after in our education is for us to be developed, no? Kung na-eskwela niya, wag i-develop, mahirap yun, no? So, kailangan nag-eskwela man ta, so there must be a changes that takes place within us. Ano yung mga changes na yan? We have knowledge, values, attitude, skills, no? Mga practice. So, we always have to contemplate na we need to change, no? We need to change ourselves in terms of our behavior, no? So that we'll be able to develop ourselves. So take note for that. Kamo din mga agriculture student, third year. So it's not too late na to realize that you are educating yourself, you're going to the school to change your behavior. So try to reflect on what particular behavior you are going to change for you to be developed. No, every day we have to reflect, you have to contemplate ano ba na mali na mga behavior ko, ano bang hindi magandang attitude ko na I need to change. So we have to change every day and reflect every day. Think of that. Okay, so what is an extension model? Okay, model or mara siya o tawagan na specimen, no? What is extension model? Representation of a system that specifies the parts and its components as well as relationship among them. So pag sinabing model, representation of a system, it is a representation of a system, model kasi siya eh, parang replica, no? Representation of a system that specify parts, that systems must have different parts and components as well as relationship among component. So when we say extension system, so we have farmer, we have institution. So what is the relationship between the school and the farmer and the municipality? So there are different components. Extension system, ang component doon, eskwelahan, farmer, mga different organizations. No? Anong relationship ng mga parts na yan nandoon? No? Then what is an extension strategy? No? Strategy, a series of steps, set of procedure, activities that operationalize the approaches which will facilitate accomplishments of its goal. So again, it is a series of steps, or it could be a set of procedure, or it could be an activities that operationalize the approaches. Because there are approaches in extension, and that approach could only be realized only when we have different strategies, procedures, and methodologies. Okay? Again, there is an approaches, but different approaches, mayroon siyang different methods, procedures, and strategy to attain that approaches, no? To obtain the goal of that approach. And what is extension method? Extension method is educational technique employed by extension system. Educational techniques, no, is a method or a procedure how to deliver an education. Okay, so how, for example, if we are to uh, conduct extension program, extension project, ano yung mga extension method natin? What is our method of teaching to deliver a program? Okay, yan ang what is an extension method, no? It could be individual method, mayroong group method, mayroong lecture, mayroong discussion, mayroong PowerPoint, mayroong TV, mayroong media, no? But we have to discuss that later on. There's a term in here when we are referring to a pedagogy, the science of teaching children. No, kanang nagtudlo sa mga elementary o high school, no? There's a pedagogy, no? Kita mga agriculturists labi na nagconduct ng extension activity, outreach program, that's an andragogy because it's a science of teaching adults, no? Sa mga college, no, mga college varied adults naman, no? Adults naman ang kasagara sa mga fourth year, third year adults na. So andragogy, the science of teaching adults. Na siya. Kita mga agriculture, take note, our clients are more adults kasi mga farmer adults, we are on the andragogy. Okay? Elementary high school nagtudlo referring to the science of teaching children is pedagogy. Tingnan mo that. So there are laws or theories of learning, no? Although maraming theories of learning that we have just to focus on this few theories of learning. The law of readiness, no? According to the law of readiness, states that when the individual is ready to act, to do so is satisfying, and not to do is annoying, no? So the law of readiness, no, usahay kanang eskwela ta, no, eskwela lang ta, walay purpose, no, eskwela lang ta tungod kay maglikay ta sa balay, we are not ready, no. Mura lang naglutaw bunot na ta, eskwela lang ta niya, basta na lang eskwela eskwela, no, walay tarong tawag ini nga direction. So the law of readiness. So mo tana ko sa inyo karon, no, third year naman mo, no, ang uban siguro na makatanaw ng video. Are you really ready to learn? Okay, so ask yourself for that, no? So because the law of readiness affects our retention, eventually affect our performance in school and even in sa mga non-formal education. Okay, there is also the theories of learning. The law of exercise states that the more a given connection is exercised, the stronger the connection becomes. When the connection is not practiced, the strength of connections decrease. Ibig sabihin, no? So, focus on this first line muna. So, say that more given a connection is exercised, the stronger connections becomes, no? So, for example, kita is extension worker. So, the more we engage our clientele, farmers, no? The more we engage, the more we connect, the more we communicate, uh, the stronger the connections becomes, no? Kung sige istorya, sige ko ang atong connections become stronger. When the connection is not practiced, walay follow up, walay mga palang hisgot. When the connection is not practiced, the strength of connection decrease, no? So ibig sabihin importante kayo ang regular communication. So according to the law of exercise, now you have to exercise connection so that we have strong connections between our clientele, our student and teachers, for example. The law of effect, no, according to the theories of learning, the law of effect, connections which are pleasant tend to be repeated and strengthened, no? So the law of effect, no, connections are pleasant, so maayo nga experience, no, maayo nga connection tends to be repeated and strengthened. Those that are unpleasant tends to be avoided or weakened. That's why, no, as a teacher, as a extension agent, as a technician, so we have to establish a pleasant relationship, pleasant connections with our clients, with our student, with our children, kung tudlo ta, so that that experience tends to be repeated and strengthened. So that learnings would most likely takes place kung experience is okay ang experience. Yan ang sinabi ng the law of effect. No, kung gwapong effect, atong balik-balik ko, no, kung gwapong man nga siya. So there are some theories of adult learning, no? So the adults learns best when they have strong desire to learn. So this is related to readiness. The adults learns best when they have strong desire to learn. Kung di sila ready, was a desire to learn, ayaw pugsa because this is learning for adults is voluntary, dili siya pinugsanay. Again, adults learns best when they have a strong desire to learn. To take note for that. Okay. So another theories of learning, adults learns best when they have a clear objectives or goals, no? So ang mga farmer or mga adults, so gusto lang sila mag-learn kung klaro kung sa ilang dapat i-learn, klaro ilang goal, no? Pero this sa formal education, this sa classroom, no, kanang eskwela ta, di ba na yung mga mga study plan na ay mga objectives, no, sa ato ang discussion, no, objective sa topic, no. Adults learns best when they have clear objectives or goals, no. Bisan ako, no, kung wala klaro nga goals, so bakit ako maglangay-langay diha nga klaro nga paingnan, no. So yan ang adults. Okay, adults learns best when they put into practice what they have learned. So, ibig sabihin, tungod kay nakita nila unsay application sa ilang learning, kasabot sila para asa, so ganahan sila mag-learn. Pero kung di sila kasabot para asa na unsay application sa ilang adlaw-adlaw nga kinabuhi, wala importance na ilaha, di nila na taga gibugaton. Pero kung nakita nila, kaya na din nila gamiton sa panginabuhi, adlaw nga activity, na ay kapuslanan, so ilahan ng tun-an, no? Another theories of adult learning is that adult learns best when they experience satisfactions from what they have learned, no? So, satisfactions, if they are satisfied with the experience from what they have learned, so balik-balikan na nila, ganahan sila, no? Mag-learn sila. Ngayon, no? So, those are the theories of adult learning. So, kamo siguro adult naman mo, no? Adult naman. So, that's how you learn, no? At least you know now. Okay, importance aspect of adult learning, no? So, as individual grows older, their sensory equipment declines, no? Sensory equipment, ato ang mata, ato ang pangsimhot, no? Ato ang touch, feeling of touch, no? Ang ato ang nervous system. So, our sensory equipment declines, no? Okay? Okay, such as men lost ability to hear, no? Itong pandungog, no? As sensory or hearing, so lost ability to hear higher tones. Malaki, no? Women, women lose the ability to hear lower tones. It takes more time for older people to react. Slowing down process starts beyond 25 years old, no? Kung atong edad, 25 pataas na, so dapat alert na tayo kasi accordingly, so posible muhin na daw, no? May mga, anyway, this is just theories, no? Pwede tinuod, pwede dili sa uban. Okay, but in general, yun ang sinabi, no? Kung magkataas ng edad, usaya, hina na ang recall, hanap na ang mata, no? Di na kay kadungog. So, ang learning, di mahinay, yun. Another aspects of adult learning, adults vary greatly in the opportunities that they have had for development of older the group members, no? The less formal educations they have been given, the greater the difference in their cultural background. But anyway, di kay klaro, no? Tungkol sa natin nga isipit na. Anyway, okay. Adult learns as well as youth, but a little more slowly given adequate time. Again, adult learns as well as youth, but little more slowly given adequate time. Meaning to say, the older people are not dull, di man sila bugo, they are slower. Ibig sabihin, hinay lang mag-recall, no? Kung masulti na, hinay na, no? Okay. So, slow up the teaching learning process. Kung adult na sila, you have to slow up the teaching learning process. Yan, no? Take note for that. These are the different aspects of adult learning. For example, the effect of age on learning may result in decline in speed of learning. So, unsa epekto sa edad, no? Sa speed of learning. So, kung taas ng edad, ang mata nila mo hanap na, no? Sayang, sakit ng mata ko, sakit ng mata, no? Okay, less acute vision, di na kaayo accurate ang panlantaw. Less acute hearing, no? Ang uban, mga bungol-bungol lang ang uban. Then, slower reaction time, loading na siya. Dilibot pa sabot nga bugo, pero loading na. Siguro gamay na o gamay na lang ang brain cells sa ulo kay sa utok kay kung magkatigo ang tao, ang brain cells magkagamay. So, ang processes, the sensory processes, magkahinay po, no? And kung magkadagko ang edad, there is a greater reluctance to learn, no? Murag mataha na sa mag-eskwela. Greater reluctance to learn and increase fear of failure, no? Fear of failure. Usa pod magkataas ang edad, magkataas ng pride, no? Lisod na kay mag-learn kung mataas na ang pride. So yun, no? Mataha na may eskwela, no? And increase fear of failure, no? Basig masipyat ko, no? Nga na. Okay, nga na. Di na kayo tawag na, di na kayo mudawat og mali, no? Di na kay gusto na permanently correct kay edad ako naman, no? Yun, no? So the age really affects the speed of learning. So you have interrelated factors to consider in selecting extension method. Now, kung pili tag extension method such as unsa ba tong gamiton, lecture, discussion, gamit ba ta og projector, gamit ba ta og TV, gamit ba ta og radyo. Okay, manay maka-epekto no na sa paggamit nato sa atong teaching method. So one of the factors that will affect in choosing the extension method is our audience, no, our clientele, no. Specifically mga individuals, no. Groups also affect the teaching method, and but the clientele, no. We have to look at our clientele. Is our clientele individual, is a group or a mass, no? So clientele sa audiences maka-apekto siya sa choice of teaching method. For example, kung ang imuhang mga kliyente is dili ka mabasa, so ibig sabihin dili ka pwede og readings, no? Kailangan i-lecture gid nimo, no? Kay di man sa kabalo mabasa. Okay? For example, imuhang audience bungol-bungol. Unsa ba? Mo adjust ka sa method sa teaching, no? Adjust so imong mga clientele is mga tigulang na. Lahi ang imong teaching method kumpara sa mga batan-o, no? Or for example, kung homogeneous lang, puros lalaki, puros babae, no? Lahi-lahi kumpara sa mix or cosmopolitan, okay? So also our choice of teaching method is affected by the receiver, no? Basin ay source and receiver, no? Basin ang source day is dili siya master ang gamit og PowerPoint, dili siya ang PowerPoint. Na receiver pod no unsay kahimtang maka-affect siya. And also our communication skills affect our choice of teaching method, no? Our knowledge of subject matter, attitude towards self, no? All these things would affect the extension teaching method. Other factors to consider in the choice of teaching method is the classification of a subject matter, no? Na mga subject matter nga maayo lang siya pang radyo, napay mga topic nga maayo lang siya sa TV, maayo lang siya sa print, no? Sa newspaper, pwede siya. So depende sa topic, no? Classification of subject matter. So ang subject matter, ang topic maka-epekto pod sa pagpili sa teaching method. Okay? For example, kung imong topic is about how to cook an egg. So ang pinaka the best there is kanang method demonstration. Demonstration siya kay saan pag-cook. Pero kung ang imong topic is mag-disseminate lang kag information about sa schedule sa tubig, kano sa putlan o ang kuryente kano sa burnout, so okay di ang mass media o radyo o TV, no? So madepende sa topic, no? So ang choice of teaching method magdepende sa subject matter. Okay, sometimes subject matter are highly technical, no? Sometimes subject matter is highly controversial, very scientific, na personal in nature, na general in nature. Kung general in nature, pwede TV, pwede radyo, no? General siya. Okay? Depende sa topic ron ng ato ang choice of extension method, teaching method. And also, our extension teaching method, apektuhan po siya sa desired changes, no? Kung gusto ka change in attitude, so siguro lain ang extension teaching method. Kung gusto ka ma-change in knowledge, okay, or skills, kung skills ka, it should be a lecture and method demonstration, no? Or kaya kung aspiration, desired aspiration, depende, no, sa desired changes. Okay? So there is a figure in here, Development Center for Asia, Africa, Pacific. No, this is a ladder of learning. So gikan na siya sa Development Center for Asia, Africa, Pacific, and Pacific. Okay? So this figure shows the ladder of learning, no? Learning encompasses changes on the person's awareness, knowledge, understanding, attitude, skills and practice or behavior brought about by the inputs, activities, and output of the program project. So okay, so this is the ladder of learning. No? Okay, actually is we have to when we teach or when we implement something, so we have the first ladder of learning is awareness, no, which is the easiest way to change, no, kanang nahibalo lang ta nga naa anya wala na tay detalye na basta naa na, no, basta na murag familiar murag kadungog ko ana, but in terms of details wala ta, no, basta aware ta nga naa. Okay, then kung aware ta, so atong patasan gamay ang atong ladder of learning, so we have a knowledge and understanding of that. So we have to do a research, no, kadungog mo ko aron unsa na, so imo siyang i-research, imo siyang i-process para to level up the ladder of learning, para from awareness at least you have knowledge of that and you have an understanding. Then so our attitude, no, to what is our attitude towards that informations that we have at hand, no? Most actually attitude is the most difficult to change. Kaya ano magkagubot, mag-away because attitude is the most difficult to change, no? Then what is attitude? Then what is our practice, no, about that information or technology? Then skills, for example, we're aware that there is the new technology of Samsung technology, for example, ano yung mga new model ng cellphone ngayon, we are aware of that. But because we are interested, so nagkandak tayo ng readings, tayo ng research kasi ganahan ta, nakadungog ta, so increase our understanding about that new models of cellphone. Then what is our attitudes towards that cellphone, no? Sa ba ito ang paggamit o asa na magamit, no? Dayon we use that cellphone. So naibago nga mga features, we use that. Then ato day siyang gamiton, we have to adapt, we have to practice, no? We have to adapt that technology. So this is the ladder of learning. Awareness ang una, then change or practice or behavior ang last. Okay. So learning theories. So as I know, we have different reasons of things, no? There are different explanations of things in nature. Kaya say magubot kay lain-lain ng mga explanation, no? Pros bright na there are different reasonings. And sometimes, no, we do trial and error. Natin makita nga something is new na okay. Also, the extension teaching method is affected by the desired attitude as well as the learning theories, no? So, extension teaching method affected by our reasoning, no, learning theories, affected by trial and error, and also conditioning. But the learning theories also affect the choice of teaching method, and also the choice of selecting or the choice in selecting the extension teaching method affected by the availability of the method, no. Naaba sa magamit kag projector, naabay projector, magamit kag TV, naabay TV, naabay kuryente, no, tanang utilities, no. So availability method is also affected by cost and availability, no. Then also the choice of teaching method, extension teaching method is primarily affected by the primary functions of that method, no. Is that information sending, okay, or is that information gathering, no? So depende siya. And also the choice of selecting extension teaching method is affected by the need and time factors, no. For example, kung urgent, siguro di na ka mangita og pinaspasay na, di na ka mangita og mga mogamit at teaching method nga kailangan pa og magamit ng kuhaan pa sa layong lugar, kailangan na kan the needs and time factor, kung limited na ang oras, so you have to select another teaching method na magamit na pinaabdik, no. Okay, so yun, no, those are the factors to consider in selecting the extension teaching method. Okay, so what are the classifications of extension methods? So ito yung teaching methods, but ano yung mga extension methods? So according to forms, no, extension methods according to form, we have written extension. Mag-written, mga sulat-sulat, mga text. Now we have bulletins, we have leaflets, we have news articles, personal letters, and circular letters. Those are all written forms of extension method. So according to forms of extension method, so we also have spoken, no, according to forms. So spoken, general and special meetings of all kinds. These are spoken, no? Kung mag-meeting mo, we use the verbal talk. We use the verbal communication, no? Spoken also farm and home visits. Kung mga tuta sa mga umahan sa uma sa mga atong farmers pato silang mga farms, so we have to talk, no, we use our verbal communication. And also ang telephone calls belong to a spoken. Magstorya man ta, no? Office telephone calls manawag ta, no, dito sa tuang farmer. Ang office calls kana ang farmer mo ana sa atong office mo report sa office ang farmer og mangutana, no? Of course, the radio, that's spoken din, no? Hindi sa kay magsulat ka niya radio, no? So they're the spoken forms. And still, classification of extension methods according to forms. We also have the objective or visual, no? Objective or visual. So examples ng objective or visual, you have result demonstration. So, kaya result demonstration, example ani, na ay gwapo nga variety, no? Nga mais, niabot sa ato ang barangay. Unya, gusto na to ipa-adapt sa atong mga kabarangay. So, dili na to sa ipa-adapt diretso. Mag-conduct siya small trial, no? Ang method demonstration. Small trial or farm demo. Small trial sa farmer or demo trial, no? Demo farm. Demo farm. Okay, again, kung naatay bagong variety atong introduce sa barangay, dili na siya diretso i-adapt nila, no? Kaya ang kasagara ang gusto mo sa mag-uma is to see is to believe, no? Makita nila to sila, so kailangan ta mag small trial na ato nga variety niya kung ni mature na ang mais hapit na harvest, invite din ang mga farmer, conduct din ta og field day, no? Conduct tag field day, pag makita sa farmer nga sa mga silingang farmer nga okay, ayan nakita nila ang result dito sa demo maayo. Ayan, mo adapt din sila kasi ganahan ta ni adapt na, no? Because nakita na sa demo farm ang result demonstration na maayo man di ay. Okay, that is the result demonstration examples of objective or visual. Another examples of extension method according to forms, still in objective and visual, is the motion pictures, charts, slides, tapes, video, and more, no? So, kasama yan sa objective and visual. Okay, motion picture, mga salida, no? Chart, slides, okay, anyway. And also kasama sa objective and visuals or visual is ang exhibits. Kanang mag-display, no? Na mga display. And also posters, no? Kanang mga advertisement in terms of poster. Na mga poster nga, ano ba? Na mga 3x4, na mga drawing, no? Na titles, introduction, blah, 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 na drawing. This is poster. Example of objective or visual. So other forms of extension method based on forms, you have spoken and objective or visual. Kasama dito is ang method demonstration. Ganina ang result demonstration is katong mais itanong ang mais ang variety niya makita, no? Ang method demonstration kanang i-perform nimo kinamot ang method. For example, how to cook an egg. So, ang method demonstration na ay atubang ka sa camera nya i-live din sa TV. So, imong i-demonstrate, no? Ang itlog, batilon, dungagang asin nya murag ang imong gisulti imong gi-perform. Kaya nga spoken at the same time imong gi-demonstrate, no? Klaro nakita. Saya na siya, no? Also, example of spoken and objective or visual is the meetings of result demonstration, no? Katong yun na result demonstration na mag-conduct meeting field day, no? Ibig sabihin sa field day ang mga farmers mabisita dito sa demo farms, okay? Example of spoken and objective visual meetings involving motion pictures, charts, and etc. Okay? So next is the classification of extension methods according to use. Ganyan, according to forms mo, no? Now, according to use, we have individual contacts, no? So, individual lang atong pagkikistorya. For example of that is farm and home visit. Kung adto ka sa balay sa mag-uuma, adto ka silahang farm. That's individual contacts, no? According to use. Then, office calls. Ibig sabihin ng office calls, ang farmer, mga adto sa office, mo report sa office sa extensionist or sa technician, magpadayag siyang problema, mangutana. That is office calls. Or kaya, manawag sa telephone, ang farmer manawag, ano no, ang extensionist or ang technician manawag sa farmer, telephone calls na. Pwede po ang farmer manawag sa technician, no? Personal letters, badag sulat, informal contact, tawag, no? Electronic data, fax, email, uh, karon na nanata karon Facebook, etc. Those are belongs to individual contacts, individual methods of extension. Okay. Now, personal contacts provide the most meaningful and effective means of influencing people to accept and adapt new practices. No? Bakit ang personal contacts is the most meaningful and effective means of influencing people to accept and adapt new practices? Because face to face, no? Yeah. Face to face, sorry. But personal contacts, no? Face to face, nya ma-convince nimo siya, nya makita pa nimo ang conviction o ang reaction sa farmer. So murag na close connection ninyong duha kay personal contacts man, no? Murag amigo kay mo sa makita nga na siya. So personal contacts provide the most meaningful and effective means of influencing people to accept and adapt new practices. Now, another is based on action method according to use. Number two, we have the group method. So, kung daghan ka og kliyente, daghang mati, pwede siya lecture, pwede ka demonstration, it could be a result demonstration, it could be a method demonstration. Pwede siya og field trips or tours, no? Daghan isa pag mag-field trip isa ra, no? It could be a group discussion sa group method. Field day, katong ingon ako na ay result demonstration, ay demo farm, tawagon ang mga partners, stakeholders, mga farmers to observe the practices na in the demo farm, field day. Meetings is also a form of group method. Okay. So using a group method can be advantageous in getting people to discuss the information obtained and in getting common agreements and action. Again, advantageous in getting people to discuss information obtained. So pwede ma-discuss ang information na obtained kadaghan na mati, no? And getting common agreements for action. So getting agreement for action or common action kay daghan man, no? So yan ang one of the advantages having a group method. So well, extension method according to use, we have mass method. Sama din mass media, no? Example na TV, radio, newspapers, print, no? Kasama puppetry katong mga I don't know kung kita mo ni Arn kanang kanang kamot na mag-istorya na mga gisulob no na mga puppetry si Arn no naa siya ay manika ta niya mag-istorya, no? Then another sa mass method is educational campaign. Mass method is projected visuals. Mga example ani projected visuals, mga overhead projector, no LCD projector, no? Okay. Also mass method is exhibits and popular theater, katong drama, no? Drama. Okay. Mass method helps reach large numbers of people simultaneously. So dali ra sa daghan siya og ma-reach nga tao at one time. Help reach large number of people simultaneously but with a little opportunity for interaction. Little opportunity interactions and provide feedback. So sa TV o radyo di ka feedback, no? Basa lang ka, di ka react. So sa print pod mo react ka pero dili na madunggan sa tag-iya, no? So limited ang iyahang opportunity for interaction, di ka interact and provide feedback. Lisod pag kaayo diri sa popular theater while nag-perform sila, salida sila mo react ka, mo interact ka, di ka interact na actually. Ganoon din sa puppetry, no? Yan ang Ang iyang advantage ng mass media, maka-reach siya large number of people at the same time, no? But ang iyang disadvantage, dili kay ka feedback, di ka interact. Take note for that. So now, what are the individual methods of extension? Okay. So individual method of extension, individual extension teaching methods include those which use interpersonal or face-to-face communication. Okay. Then the individual methods provide the most interactive or interaction between the source and receiver. So daghan og interaction, daghan mo maistoryahan ang agriculture technician or extension agent or extensionist ug ang farmer which is the receiver. So daghan sila maistoryahan kay personal man, no, face to face man. Example is one is the extensionist siguro ni siya or technician, no? Pwede siya technician. Ang receiver is the farmer or kinsa ba ang imuhang kliyente or the client, no? Clients. Okay. So ito yun, no? Mga individual extension methods includes individual method of extension includes the mutual discussion, no? Sometimes referred to as dialogue or one-on-one discussion. Ang mutual. One-on-one discussion. It is the most important method of individual extension. No? It is the most important method of individual mutual discussion. There are three models of mutual discussions, includes diagnosis, description model. We have the diagnosis, description model. Example is patient-physician relationship. Another examples of mutual discussion, you have counseling model, you have participation model. Okay. What is the advantages of mutual discussion? No? Mutual discussions is a very good way of supplying information required for solving a unique problem, individual problem such as major investment decision. Okay. Also, the mutual discussion, it is possible to integrate information from the farmer with those the extensionists. Again, integrate information from the farmer with those of the extensionist. So, may exchange of ideas sila kung sa gisulti sa farmer, yun sa may observation sa extensionist. So, posible ilang i-integrate, ma-improve ang ilang discussion, ma-improve ang ilang opinion tungod kay sila raman daw mag-istorya, no? So, the extension agent can help farmer to clarify feelings and to choose between conflicting goals. No, so maklaro sa extension agent kung unsay unsay mga clarify feelings and to choose between conflicting goals, no. So makita dito unsay mga goals nga nag-conflict, unsay di maayong mga goals asa i-delete ani asa ipadayon ani, no. So tungod kay maayo ang ilang interaction. So mutual discussions, the extension agent can increase farmers' trust by showing interest in the farmers as a person, her situation and ideas, no. Increase farmers' trust by showing interest, no. Ibig sabihin na mura og ang credibility o ang trust ng farmers sa extension agent increase because naa sila tawag na a closed discussion, no, one-on-one mo sila, no. Mawin niya, no, ang trust. Problema lang sa mutual discussion is that high cost. Costs are high in terms of stop time and travel. So gasto kay individual man, no, daghan ka og adtuan daw gasto, no. It can only reach small proportion of target group na dugay ma-disseminate ang information kay isa-isahon jud nimo, no. It is based on high level of trust between farmers and extension agent. So it needs a high level of trust. Kung wala kaayoy trust ang farmer sa imuha, most likely ang mutual discussion dili siya mag-prosper. Okay? Mutual discussion is usually initiated by farmer when the problem is well advanced and has caused some difficulties. So ibig sabihin kung ang mag-initiate ng problem is ang farmer niya, ang problem is so advanced na ay panahon nga ang extension agent di siya ka-relate, no? Mura og di siya ready, no? Tungod kay ang problem is so advanced, difficult. So then extension agents can give incorrect information because nga dili kayo siya ready, advanced kay ang problem. Extension agents can give an incorrect information if they are not prepared to admit that they do not have necessary information, no? Because extension agent does not know everything, no? There are times na talagang di natin alam, no? Kung sa oras na di natin alam, so you have to dito mag-atik-atik og tubag, no? You have to refer to the expert, no? Somebody that has that is well versed on the matter at hand, no? So ana siya. Yan ang mga disadvantages, no? This method seldom is a solution for promotion of collective interest among the farmers. So dili siya solution for collective interest because no this is for individual only, no? Parang nayusahay ang atong maadresan, ang atong masolusyonan is personal interest or personal motives labi na kung kita nga extension dili ta abtik mo detect, no, nga naa day personal interest, no, labi na kanang mga barangay captain tong may istorya usahay. So naay mga personal interest na atong bantayan ang yana labi na sa individual or mutual discussion. Yun, no, those are the different So another individual method of extension, we have the farm and home visit. Kanang mga ta silang balay, no, atong bisitahan ng farmer, kamustahon, tanawon ilang mga manok na abay sakit, ilang mga hayop na abay sakit, ilang mga tanom kumusta, no. Yan na siya. Mga silang balay. So sama ani for example, atong i-assume, no, kining tao na tao nagbarog, no. Assume tani nga ni-visit sila sa balay o sa farm sa farmer, no. Ano, visit sa farm ito yun, no. Okay. So this farm and home visit. So basahan lang ninyo padayon, no. So ang purpose ng farm and home visit is a service call made on request to give advice, assistance on a wide range of farm and home problems. So naay mga pwede po nga gitawagan, no, naay problema diri. Okay, purpose securing a cooperator, pwede po ang purpose ng farm and home visit ngadto ka kay pwede ta nga mag-conduct og demonstration, trial, no, arranging meeting or discussing a local activity, no. So na siya. So there are some disadvantages of farm and home visits. Okay. Office calls is also one of examples of individual methods of extension. So are made by farmers who is usually seeking information. So ang farmer ni ngadto sa office sa technician, no. Ano siya. Telephone calls, no, are made use of whether it is necessary to get in touch with the regional or national office quickly for personal purposes. Tawag ka sa region, ang farmer tawag sa region, tawag sa national kung naay problema, no. Then you also use one of the individual extension methods is ang personal letters. Okay? So personal letters, valuable valuable siya, importante siya kung giving or getting information, enlisting cooperation, kanang ibig sabihin gusto ka makikooperate, makikpartner, no? Enlisting cooperation with farmer, giving recognition for food works and thanks for cooperation, no? Giving instruction, for example, on how to manage a result demonstration. So as long as you are writing personal letters, no, to the farmers, then ignata ipaklaro atong isulat, no, muna yung mga punto, ana. Okay? So another individual method is a result demonstration. So ibig sabihin, is a method of teaching which establishes proof that parang na-proof, no? Proof that an improved practice or technology is applicable locally, no? Parang magpakita o gilas ba nga maayo ni among technology na makita tanawan ninyo mo ning epekto, no? So ipakita ninyo ang result, i-demonstrate niyo ang result. It is done under the directions of the extension worker with the farmer, homemaker, or youth carrying out demonstration. So ang mag-conduct sa demonstration ang farmer, pwede ang partner, no, mga farmer, no. The person who agrees to try to the new practice introduced by the extension worker in the village is called cooperator. So katong farmer diin gi-conduct ang result demonstration, katong i-conduct ang result demonstration siyang farm, katong farmer tagon siya cooperator or partner niyo, no. cooperator. Yun. Okay? Ang advantages ng result demonstration, so makita ang pruweba, no? Makita ang result. So, furnishes a local proof of desirability of the recommended practice, no? Ay, klaro, gwapo nga nga technology, no? Then, appeals to the eye and is effective in the convincing those who question the practice, no? So, marag makadani sa atong panlantaw, kaya makita mong yun. Then, i-convince na to itong who question the practice previously, no? Katong adi, makumutuan na, ay, kaya marag di matinuod, pero kung makita na, to see is to believe, ayan, mutuon na, no? And result demonstration is a good way to introduce new project. Okay, labi na bago, so ipakita sa nato magpakitang gilas at sa effect. So provide a good source of information for meetings, news stories, pictures, radio, etc. No? And furnishes cost information. Actually, no, sa method demonstration, makita mo dito ang budget cost, no? Makita mo dito ang project cost, makita dito. And also, method demonstrations aids in developing local leaders. Bakit aid in developing a local leaders? Because ang ating farmer cooperator pwede man siya mahimong leader, no? Kay siyang nagkandak, siyang magistorya, siyang magdani nga mo niyang epekto sa technology sa iyang farm, no? So aids in developing a local leaders. Kaya ang mga local leaders po mo will inform sila, no? Ma-educate sila. Okay. Ang problema lang, no, ang limitation lang, disadvantage lang ng result demonstration, may be hard to find responsible cooperator, no. Usay na lisod kay mangita og farmer cooperator nga mokandak sa demonstration, no. Lisod, no. Nga basig wala ang area po usay wala area, no. And also another problem arouse jealousy among families. Kaya usahay magjealous, no, magsilos ang ubang farmer because the number of visits of extension workers make to operators. Malibog maghisilos ang uban. Siya ra lagi sige adto, no. Siya lagi sige og tagaan og inputs. Alang-alang kay naman siya ang demo farm. Siya gid ang permitted ton so magsilos ang uban kung labi na di kasabot, no. Pero kung magkandak nag field day, musuroy na sa demo farm, siguro makasabot na ang uban, no. And also another limitations may be affected by many uncontrollable factors like weathers, no. Kaya gusto niyo ipakita ang result kay gwapo lagi na nga variety o gwapo na nga technology nya pangit di ay ang weather tungod kinagkalain-lain ng panahon, so di niyo makita ang eksaktong result tungod kinapektuhan sa other factors, okay? Then result demonstrations may lessen effectiveness of extension. Lessen effective extension of demonstration is not successful, no. Kung yan failure ang method demonstration, makita sa mga pangit man, no. Di maguganahan pangit tungod kinapektuhan siguro sa other factor, so luoy ang extension worker di sa effective, no, kay di sa tuhuan. Okay, it is not adaptable to many kinds of subject matter. So it is not adaptable to many kind of subject matter. So dili tanang technology nga makandak sa result demonstration, no. Na uban nga abstract, uban nga procedural. So na uban nga dili gid pwede sa method demonstration, result demonstration. So pwede lang sa result demonstration kanang gwapo nga abono, gwapo nga variety, no, dagko og abot, ana siya. Pwede pod og ang result demonstration kanang product sa breeding, no, nag-breed kag different yan na sa variety, no. Pwede pod sa breeding sa manok, breeding sa kanding, no. Muni ang resulta kung gi-breed nako sila nga na ba, no. So minto say you are promoting breeds, no. Yan na siya. So other group method of extension, we have lecture, no. Lecture is almost everyday gikandak sa eskwelahan, no. Kani karon lecture ang gibuhat, no. Purpose of lecture is to inform or instruct, to convince or persuade, no, to entertain or amuse and generate action. Okay, yun, no. So lecture ang advantage, many topics can be covered in a short period. But many topics can be covered in a short period. Then the facilitator is in complete control. Ang facilitator or lecturer is yan ay control. Can accommodate almost unlimited size of audience. It is economical, no. Kaya basa naman ka kay gamit lecture man, no. Pero ang disadvantage, the communication is primarily one way. Wala interaction kayo. Sulti-sulti lang ka na. Namati ra sila, no? So, one way. The retention is low. No? Hinay yung retention. Lack of involvement of participants. So, participants, wala kayo na involved. Can be boring, no? Labi na kung dili maayo kayo mo lecture ang facilitator or extensionist. Yan na siya. Then, another for group method of extension, we have demonstration. Yes, sinabi kanina, mayroon tayong method demonstration. Ang result demonstration could be an individual. It could also be a group, no? And method demonstration, katong how to do things, no? Emphasize on saan pagtrabaho, mag-istorya, at the same time, nag-perform, no? How to cook, no? How to do things ang method demonstration. Unsang pagbuhat og hima, unsang pagbuhat og tawag ini virgin coconut oil, unsang pagbuhat og turmeric powder, no? Mga method demonstration. So imong trabaho or at the same time imong i-explain ang imong gitrabaho, imong isulti, no? Asa. So result demonstration ito ipakita ang epekto katong gwapo nga variety, gwapo nga breeds, no? Action demonstration tries to show that large sections of populations desire changes in government policy or in their society which is not commonly used, no? Action demonstration, no? Try to show that a large section of a population desire changes in government policy or in their society which is not commonly used. So apil diri ka nang mag rally, no? Rally, action demonstration sama din, no? Okay. Yan na. Ito na nga, no? Ang method demonstration as a group of extension method is a short time demonstration given by an extension worker or trained leader for a purpose of teaching skills to a group or show a better way to carry out a practice, no? It is not concerned with providing the worth of practice but how to do something. Again, it is not concerned with providing the worth of practice, no? So, it's not about the worth of practice but about how to do something. For example, no, how to cook, no? Kasi ilang ibuhat nila, no, sa food processing. Okay? So, di katulad ng result demonstration. Ang result demonstration is a worth of practice, no? But the method demonstration, how to do something. Okay? Advantage, this is effective in teaching skills tungod kay imong gi-perform, imong gisulti, imong gi-discuss sabay, no? Sabay ang pag-istorya ug ang pag-perform, no? For example, butangan og mantika ang kalaha, no? Batilon ang itlog, no? Nagbatil, while nag-perform, nag-discuss. Okay, nga na siya, marag na ay spoken language, na ay visual, no? So advantage effective in teaching, motivate or stimulate action. It stimulates action because gitudloan makaunsaon pagtrabaho, no? Build confidence in local people. Okay? Help extension worker becomes acquainted with local people kay pakita man nimo duol ra man, no? Ngani no? Magstorya mo. Pwede pud sa TV, no? Pwede pud actual ni ipakita live. People accept ideas easily kinakita man nila actual. Bring about changes in practice at low cost, no? Adapt din nila, no? Sa ang pagluto sa yima. Yun, buhat nila yima kung kabalon sila, no? So, yun, no? Those are the method demonstration. And there are points to consider when conducting a method demonstration. So, kung mag-conduct ulit ang method demonstration, before beginning the demo, explain what you are about to demo. Explain ito magunsa ka, no? Magunsa day ka, na? Isulti mo nimo ang purpose sa imong method demonstration. Then, tell the farmers or your clients what to look for, no? Unsa ba inyong kailangan, okay? Before starting a demo, be sure to see all the needed equipment. Dapat andam na, no? Ang mga needed equipment, tools and other materials are available. Andam na unya naka-arrange pod, no? Marag ang mga wa pa nagamit diri nga side, pag magamit balhin na speak side para dili siya messy, no? Dili siya gubot tanawon. Order siya, no? Okay, arrange the group and give the demo so that everybody can see everything what takes place, no? I-arrange kini mo para maklaro, di bitaw malibog ang magtan-aw, okay? Demonstrate each step slowly, no? Dapat dili kayo hara-hara, dili pilaspas. So demonstrate each steps slowly. Then explain each step slowly, no, dili kayo paspas. Then ask certain person to demonstrate various phases of the job. Pwede pod nga kanang kung ikaw ang mag-conduct, pwede pod sige ikaw ang mag-perform ani, no, i-assign mo sa mga spectators, no. Okay, encourage farmers to ask questions regarding the demo. Okay, then have farmers take notes or make sketches for future reference. Have the farmers examine the finished jobs. No, kailangan muna na yung resulta. Pagka humana niya, muna na yung resulta. Ipakita din mo ang finished job after sa method demonstration. Okay? So, another example of the group method, you have meetings, no? Mga meetings, no? So, yeah, no? And before mag-meeting, so kailangan tanawin mo mga checklist, no? So, checklist for meeting. So, first, notify those who are to attend the meeting. So, imong i-notify sa date and venue, no, of the meeting. So, asang venue, i-book nimo, no? Imong i-andam mo ang venue. Then, contact any guest speakers and discuss their talks with them. Okay? Ask if they require a special arrangement. Then, discuss the secretary and treasurer items to be included in the agenda, no? Allocate time for each item and but meaning ang pinaka point ng diri is andama ang mga kailangan sa meeting, no? Yung mga agenda nalista na ba nya na-inform na ba sila? So, check the venue, organize equipment needed, unsa ba yung mga equipment needed sa meeting, decide on appropriate seating arrangement. So there are different seating arrangement, no, sa meeting, no? During the meeting, be acquainted with the parliamentary procedure. So dapat kung mag-conduct meeting, alam natin how to conduct and how to facilitate meeting, no. We have to apply the parliamentary procedure paulay gubot ang meeting. Okay, there are some seating arrangement during meetings, no. So mga seating arrangement, look at this. So pwede ka aning horse ho, no. This is the horse ho arrangement. So naadiri ang speaker nga, naadiri ang mga audience, no. Then we also have the row arrangement. So by row na ay mga first row, second row, third row na adari ang speaker. Naabot tayo circle arrangement, no? Circle na adari ang speaker or facilitator. Naabot tayo U-shape na adari. Its arrangement has its own descriptions and advantages. Try to read on that, ha? Try to read. So one of the group method of extension, we have tour and field trip, no. Kabalo naman sa unsay field trip, no. Ang mag-uma i-tour na to field trip, pakita na to ang mga technology nga gi-conduct o gi-adapt sa laing nga mga lugar, no, para mainganyo ang mag-uma nga sun-on nila uli nila sa ilang mga uma, no. And these are the advantages of field trip, no. Okay, na mga limitation, no. Or di man lang kay kung gasto, no, kung field trip niya layo hago na siya. Then you also have a school or short courses, no, na yung mga school or short courses as a form of group extension method, school or short courses. So may run for a duration of 1 to 6 weeks, no, depending on the subject matter. So enrollment or regular attendance is required, no. Eskwela gid siya, di ba? Okay. Then we also have field days. Itong field days mo itong naakay result demonstration, naakay gikan na demo farm, na mga tanom dito, na mga hayop, na gamit og technology nya. Kung dagko na, tawag ng mga farmers, mga stakeholders, kung visit dito, para tanawon nila unsay gibuhat, no, dito sa area. So field days ang tawag ana. So na mga explain, na mag-discuss, no, field days ang tawag. Then a panel discussion is also an example of group method of extension. Okay, is used when presenting divergent ideas. So gamiton na siya kung there is a diverse of ideas, different ideas, no, different ideas, opinions, experience, recognized authorities, no. A panel discussion. So na ay advantage and disadvantage. So try to read on this. No, I will give you the copy for this. Okay. Then still on the group method of extension, we have symposium. So look at the difference between panel and symposium. It is like a panel discussion. The symposium is used to give audience pertinent information about the topic or to consider relative merits of various solutions to the controversial problem. So na yung mga speakers no i-invite niya to speak something, speak on behalf of the matter of the topic. No, this is the symposium. Nya medyo formal gamay ang symposium kumpara sa panel no. Kaya program ang panel discussion. There's advantage of symposium and there's a disadvantage in here. Okay. So brainstorming is another form of a group extension method. Okay? Ibig sabihin dire, is a technique for producing creative ideas, no? So, it encourages quantity of ideas and discourages judgment and is generally used for small groups. So, brainstorming is, hala, ipagawas lang nimo yung mga idea huna-huna, no? Bisag unsang nahuna, encourage nga walay judgment dire, no? Dita pangit man na, no? Dili ka magana. Just generate the idea, sulat ng mga idea, no? So, walay judgmental. Para lang gid na ma-express ang idea niya. Pag makita ta ng idea, sagol-sagulo ng idea din atong i-hybrid i-improve ang idea. That's brainstorming, no? Dapat lang it is a good technique for identifying and listing all possible ideas for solving a problem. So tanan nga mga posibleng mga ideas to solve a problem hala hisgot isulti palabas, no? There must be no criticism, dili mag-criticize as facilitator, as technician. Wala judgmental, no or censoring of ideas. So tanang idea pwede. People are encouraged to say whatever comes out in mind. All ideas are recorded. Okay? The quantity of ideas rather than the quality is the aim, no? Ang gusto, ang pinakadaghan sa information, ang gusto, bahalag dili kayo quality, no? Okay, later on, pili-pilian na, no? The combination and improvement of ideas is sought. Gusto gid is i-combine then i-improve ang idea. Na, ang purpose. So, ibig sabihin, bisan kinsa pwede makasuggest, pwede makasulti sing idea, isulat sa board na siya or unsa ang paagi sa pag-present sa idea, then tanaw ng mga idea, i-grupo-grupo, no, i-group hantong mag-grupo-grupo na siya, pwede nga ma-reduce na pud ang mga daghan nga idea hangtod makabuhat og gwapo nga idea out of the combination of different ideas. Ayun ang purpose ng brainstorming. Okay? So advantage, enjoy, no? Maka-stimulate sa participants kay cross-fertilization of ideas. Ibig sabihin na ma-hybridize ang ideas, no? Ang disadvantage lang, ideas are contributed from a few people who think quickly, no? Di kayo mag-isip, dito na istorya, disadvantage, no? Overall, brainstorming is less effective than the nominal group of generating ideas. Another group of extension, we have farmer field school, no? Naapoy mga pag-eskwela, no? Or the FFS, no? Is typically participated by a group of 20 to 25 farmers. So mga residente sila, no? Within the community that meet regularly on half decision or AM or PM, hapon or buntag, no? Half decision or once weekly or pwede po siya every 2 or 3 weeks during the entire cropping season. So ibig sabihin, nagtanom, mais niya. Ang pagtanom sa mais, obserbahan, no? Eskwelahan siya, estudyuhan. Siya. In corn-based system, the farmer field schools covers 18 weeks to 120 days duration. Kaya 120 days man maharbis ang mais, no? So ang inyong pag-eskwela po 120 days hangtod maharbis. Yun nga, ang participant conducts a farmer trial o on-farm trial. So dito sa participants nga farm, no? Kana siya. This is non-formal education, based on experiential learning, and participatory methods aims to build farmers' capability in analyzing cropping system. So experiential tungod kay ila man yung i-experience, ila man yung buhaton, no? Participatory tungod kay daghan ang involved, no? Daghan ang nagtanaw, daghan ang nag-participate. And another group method of extension, we have the Phillips 66, or this is a 6 persons with 6 minutes discussion. Yan ang Phillips 66. So you have to invite 6 persons to speak on behalf of the matter and to speak for that matter within 6-minute discussion. That is the Phillips 66. No? So yun. Okay. So we have the individual method discussion of extension method. We have the group method. So try to familiarize those methods. Uh, in a mass method of extension, so accordingly, mass media may seldom bring about changes in behavior. So bring uh, seldom bring about change in behavior because sender and receiver tend to employ several selective processes which may often distort the message. No? So ang mass media is dili kayo siya maka-change in behavior because we have selective processes in our mind. No? Ibig sabihin, uh, kung natin nadunggan, tuhuan lang nato ang mga discussion, mga topic na kanang makarelate ta unya muraog ni align sa atong interest, no? So moto adana. Pag dili kay ta interesado, dili mo align sa atong gusto, so dili ta na. Ibig sabihin selective processes, no? Atong pilion depende sa atong mga bias, no? Which may often distort the message. So kaya nga dili kayo effective ang mass media in bringing about changes in behavior because we have several selective processes, no? So mamili lang ta kung sa atong gusto nya. Mamili pud ta unsay meaning sa mga butang base sa atong gusto sa atong experience, no? Yan ang nature natin, no? Kaya nga dili kay effective ang mass media. For example, no, in a selective publication, okay, in a selective publication, publishers, broadcasters, editors, or etc. have power to select. They have power to select or repress access to information. So, ibig sabihin na kung ikaw ang publisher, you can choose topic to publish. Wala magbuot sa imo ha. Huwag na ay mga topic nga dili mo uyon sa imong publication. So, you have to repress, no? You have to block di ko ana. Okay? Because we have a selective processes. So media tend to publish what they think the public wants to read, no? Kung ikaw ang media, so imo na ang bias nimo unsay ganahan sa public. Okay? You have to publish what they think the public wants to read, wants to see, or want to hear, no? Editors or publishers select informations they want to spread, no? Kung ikaw ang editors, ikaw ang tagya sa journal o na kay publication, so ikay magbuot unsa nga information ang imong spread, no? Imuha man ang journal, imuha man ang publication, okay? Freedom of press implies that editors have the right to publish any informations they wish as long as it could not endanger national security, no? Like recently, no, ang ABS-CBN napa-close ang ABS-CBN bisan wala siya ay klaro nga kaso sa korte, no? Only ang Senate lang ang nagbuot nga ipa-close. Yun na nga, no? Freedom of press implies that editors have the right to publish any information they wish as long as it could not endanger national security, no? I don't know, wala naman po yung korte nga nagsabi that that ABS-CBN has endangered national security, no? So wala ang pod sila kaso, no? Wala sila whatsoever. But only lang siguro political lang, no, ang nalay political conflict. But in terms of endangered national security, wala na may nagsabi na korte na that ABS-CBN is a culprit or accused. No, nang nasa kaso ni wala naman. But anyway, so ato lang ihatag diha, no. But meaning to say, selective publication, you can publish whatever you want for as long as it will not endanger national security and for as long as it will not demoralize individuals, no, ano siya. Okay, so selective attention, no, dili effective ang mass media because of selective attention, no? Nobody can read everything that is published. Attention is biased to our needs, no? Tagala to bigaton ng attention ang katong align sa ato ang needs, sa atong mga personal needs, no, sa atong mga gusto, okay? Then you also have a selective perception. We tend to interpret message we disagree with so that we made little or no changes to our own opinion. Okay? So, dili ato tagaag pagtagad ang ato ang sariling opinion, tagaag og pagtagad ang mga messages we disagree with so that we made little or no changes in our own perception. So, mo ni ang usa po ni ka pangit nga kinaiya nato because of selective perception. So that's why ako no I always reflect on my own ideas kasi uh, gwapo ba niya akong sulti? Maayo ba niya akong sulti sa ila? Di ba niya makasakit na ingana ba no? So dapat ingon ana mag-isip but ang atong kasagara ang atong pick upon nga mga information katong message na we disagree with kay nga naman uy atong pick upon kay murag against sa ato ang feeling against sa ato ang gusto no nya atong tagaan tog pagtagad atong i-justify nga mali ito kita ang correct so ingana ang atong nature but mas maayo unta nga mag-reflect pud ta sa ato ang mga information nga sa ato ang mga message sa atong mga istorya kaya basin dayo og sobra na pod no. But in nature we tend to disagree with messages against our bias. Okay? Then also we have a selective remembering, no? So nobody can remember everything they have ever read or heard, no? Uh, ang ato lang ma-recall kato lang yung kanang naa sa to ang bias kanang maganahan nato pwede kita ganahan di kanito ma-recall no so we have selective remembering that's why mass media is not effective in changing behavior no changing behavior because of our selective processes and selective acceptance no we tend to accept ideas more easily when they agree with our own opinions di ba so we tend to select the knowledge we accept. So nga na ta no. So ako is gi-practice ako kung sarili ka na bitaw nga mamati nya mo accept lang unsay mga idea pero dili judgmental but bisan og gi-allow na ko sa istorya pero akong gi-process gyapon nga okay to. Dili to okay ang iya no. Normal sa to we have a selective acceptance. But importante nga atong i-accept ang tanang idea because dili tanang tao pareha una-una dahil lahi atong una tungod kay dahil lahi atong experiences no lahi atong panabot so maayo unta og kanang willing ta to accept different feedbacks different criticism different ideas na mas maayo siya no but in reality we are on selective acceptance okay in reality in general. Then we have selective processes in terms of selective discussion. No? We do not have time to talk to other people about everything we hear or read. No? Again, we do not have time to talk to other people about everything we hear or read from the media. No, we talk about things we agree or might interest other people. So we talk with friends with similar opinions. Usahay di kita mo lambo di kita mo improve tungod kay ang atong paminawon kanang ganahan ng nato madunggan no so for example karon labi karon sa politika porting gubuta no naay mga yellow tards naay mga Dutertards mo bitaw kana no kung makayelo na ta ang atong permente ta basahon nga mga information katong dapig sa makayelo kung Dutertards na pud ta atong permente basahon nga information katupong dapig sa mga Dutertards. Yang problema karon kinaatay mga fake news no. Dili na kaayo credible ang ato ang uban nga mga news tungod kay bisag kinsa na lang makabuhat og news labi na sa kining mga vlogging no. So problema kaayo no. So kaya nga we should be responsible leaders no. Readers kailangan basahon nato ang source, basahon nato tanang anggulo aron dili ta mabias no. So kailangan ta ana karon no. Although we are on general, we are on a selective discussion. We tend to talk things that no nga kanang nakauyon sa tuwa na daan no. Nya dili gali uyon sa tuong opinion, di na nita mamati. So that is very bad no. Kailangan ato nang i-change kung pwede. Okay? So again, so The mass media may be seldom bring about changes in behavior because sender and receiver tend to employ several selective process which may often distort the message, no? So mausab ang mensahe because of this selective publication, because of selective attention, because of selective perception, because of selective remembering, selective acceptance, and selective discussion. Okay? So, functions of mass media, no? Mass media, radio, TV, print media, no? So, functions of mass media in changing societies, no? Setting the agenda of important discussion topics, no? Mass media can have an important influence on what we think and what we talk about, okay? And also, mass media is important in transferring knowledge, no? So, we gain much of what we know about the world from the mass media, no? Labi karon COVID-19, no? Grabe na nga. We gain our information on the mass media. So, another function of mass media, forming and changing opinion, no? Very, kauban karon na mga black propaganda, no? Na mga bandwagon. Grabe na, so magbantay. Okay? So, media can change behavior. Mass media may be used to change patterns of behavior. Example, in advertising, di ba? Makadani kayo. So, example of mass media, we have the printed media, no? People must know how to read. Problema aning printed media, kaya kung dili ka balog basa, dili siya maka benefit sa mass media, no? Example sa mass media, we have newspaper, no? We have okay. So, newspapers prints anything timely that interests the number of persons and best news that is greatest interest for the greatest number. Okay, ito yun, no? Example of so what methods a mass method by extension, what makes a news, no? What makes a news, number one is timelines, no? Information should be linked to a major current events or the seasons when the information is relevant. So timeliness, no? Timeliness. So murag presko nga balita sa makaron, ang presko nga balita is COVID-19, no? Coronavirus. So another what makes a news is the closeness. The nearer the information is to the reader, either psychologically or geographically, the greater is the news value. Kanahan tag balita kanang related sa tuang level sa tong pangutok, no? O kanang level po sa tuang lugar, ana. Sorry. Okay. So what makes the news is the importance, no? The greater the consequence for the reader, kung kapo siya epekto sa reader, the more readily will the editor accepts the story. Okay. Another what makes the news is the significance, no? So prominent people and places have news value. Also is what makes the news is the human interest, no? Readers are attracted by human interest elements such as novelty, what is new, what is bago, no? Na problema, conflict, progress, and emotion. So ito yung mga tanaw, no, sa news. Timeliness, no? Closeness, importance, significance, human interest. So kung botag news, so we have to look this one. Now, how to write a comprehensible publication? Magpapublish ta og news, use a simple language, no? Di na palabi og sobrang taas na kayo nga mga lisod kayo sabton nga mga words sa English, no? Pinasimple ang pinakasimple ng word na gimita ayo tong pinakalisod, no? Ay tagaig problema ang mamasahay. So technical terms should be explained in short and simple sentences using common words which have concrete meaning, no? So, kailangan ta og direct, common words and simple words kung magpublish ta, no? Yun ang mga example din. So, examples of the printed instructional materials or IMs, no? So, sa mass method, no, sa print method, We have the primers, ano, mga librong gamay, no? Primers consist of 4 or more than 4 pages containing essential information on technology addressed to producer or farmer written in a dialect, no? Dialect sa lugar, no? Leaflet, no? Katong mga leaflet, katong is a small folded publication, katong mapilo-pilo lang used to provide reference on a short and single subject matter. Then another example of printed items, we have bulletin. Okay? Pag sinabi ng POT is a package of technology. This is a package of technology. For example, sa saging, no? Ano yung mga package of technology ng saging? Abono, pag-spray, pagpatay sa insekto, daghan pa, no? Pagbalot, no? That's POT, package of technology. Bulletin is a semi-technical pamphlets on package of technologies intended for both use is extension workers or technician or change agent, no? Extension workers. So another examples of printed instructional media, we have folders, we have posters, wallpapers, we have pack sheets, no? Ito yung mga primers, for example, no? Ito yung mga no, na mga bulletins, no? So, na mga pack sheets, sorry, na mga flyers, yun, no? Are examples of the printed media. So, another examples of mass method is we have the television is the mass method, no? Is an electronic transmissions of moving image, merong moving image, no? Or moving pictures accompanied by sounds, no? Na picture, na sound, which is mainly used for entertainment. Okay? Farmers are somewhat confused by the competitive claims of the advertisement, no? Usahay, no? Mga farmers maglibog sa mga advertisement kay lain ang giingon sa advertiser o sa extension agent. Like, it appears to more than one sense, no? It appears to more than one sense because ang mga senses natin is we have eyes, a sense of seeing, no? Hearing, no? It appears to more than one senses because sa TV makita nimo ug madungog pagid nimo na sense of hearing and sense of seeing, no? It offers less opportunity for review and interaction. So dili kay ta maka-review kay TV man na alag bagag di man nimo ma-review kay di man ka maka-participate, no? Di po ka maka-interact kay TV man siya, no? Maliban na lang karon sa makaron meron tayong bag-o nga kanay bitang mga webinar, meron tayong Zoom meeting, meron tayong Google meeting, we can interact ana. But sa television dili, no? Okay. Ang radio as an example of mass method, it's, radio is a very common, no? I won't discuss that clearly because hibalo ko nga kailan tag mga radio, no? Basahan lang na ninyo. Okay? Puppetry, so sa mass method katong magdrama nga naay mga sample ani, no? Naay mga say puppet na iyang ipalihok-lihok pa sa saya o katong naay kamot bitaw si Arn kung sa Jimmy is una kay Arnold Clavio ba na? Arnold Clavio na siya pasulti niya, no? Na, that is belongs to puppetry, no? Is acting a play on stage using puppets, no? Example, dolls, small figures, image of an animal, no? Yan na example of puppetry, no? Pwede siya gamiton as mass method of extension. Dayon, na popular theater, itong drama-drama, no? So make use of performances in the form of drama, singing, dancing, and puppetry kasama sa popular theater, no? It is called popular because they aim at the whole village, not just educated. So popular siya tungod kay para sa tanan, no? Apil ang mga nag-eskwela, apil ang wala ka-eskwela. It involves local people as performers, no? Ang mga performers local people lang, no? Aning popular theater. Okay? Then another one, we have the exhibits. Now we have exhibits. Okay? Mga example ito yung mga exhibits na kita sa picture. Mga exhibits. These are exhibits. These are displays that create interest or are used for information sharing. That use posters, pictures, photographs, models, specimen. No? They are suited for bulletin boards, demo plots, or agricultural shows ang mga exhibits. So campaign, no, is a coordinated use of different methods focusing on a particular widespread problems and its solution. No? We have to campaign. So example of group, yan, projected visual, kasama dito ang mga overhead overhead projector, kasama to ang LCD, no, LCD or liquid crystal display, no, LCD kanang projector, kasama dyan ay daghan pang mga projected visual, no. Then another sa mass method, we have lantern slides. So na mga lantern slides, ibig sabihin na mga lantern na mga slides din, mga presentation, no, na mga makita ng mga pictures or mga slides. Okay, selected extension teaching method, we have method used in getting attention. So method used in getting attention, we have to use pictures, no. Demonstration also get attention. News stories will get attention. Displays get attention, no. Slogans also get attention. Radio talks useful in getting attentions. Cartoons and exhibits, no. So methods useful in developing interest, we have meetings, film strips, slides, radio talks, pamphlet stores, and testimonials to arouse interest. So methods in developing confidence nga makasalig ka, no, trust, visits, no, testimonial, demo, and slogans. So creating desires, methods to create desire, you have samples, exhibits, actual demo, circulars, before and after photos, no, creating desire. Yan. Then we have the funneling approach and the conduct of extension, no, na try to read on that. In this table, I would like to introduce, no, function, advantage, and disadvantage of different extension method. So different extension methods, you have mass media method, talks method, demonstration method, POC media method, group discussion, and dialogue. So the medium is suitable or has the characteristic of, for example, in creating awareness of innovation, so in creating of awareness, mas maayo mass media ang gamito, no. Maka-create pag awareness ang demonstration, ang POC media, pero mas maayo ang mass media kay tulo ka X. Ibig sabihin ng X, no, that is the number of X indicates suitability, no. So meaning to say, very suitable ang mass media in terms of creating awareness, no. In terms of creating awareness of own problems, so mas maayo ang POC media and as well as group discussion. So in terms of knowledge transfer, maayo ang mass media, labi na sa method demonstration, no. In terms of behavioral change, we need to change the behavior of our farmers, listeners, no, or our clients. So mas maayo ang group discussion or lecture, no. So wala, no, dili pwede ang talks in terms of behavioral change. Dili pwede ang media in terms of behavioral change kay wala interaction, no. Ana ang meaning diha, no. Okay, so just merong code sa ubos na try to understand that. Okay. So medyo taas, paspas, but I want you to please read on the files associated with this, no. So I think that is all for this for discussion. Merong exam dito, so plus ko lang. So for example, dito na diretso, no. So yeah, the extension teaching method that gives the change agents the maximum of information about his or her client. Okay, yun. The answer is ito, no. So okay, I'll try to give you this the equivalent copy for the PowerPoint. So that is all for that session, and thank you for listening.